The MCU is in a state of disaster. Not only have they delayed all of their upcoming movies by several months, but we are now finding out that the Marvels had the lowest domestic opening weekend in the MCU's history. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. Now, over the past couple of weeks, I have talked about the estimates, and they are much lower than initially said. Initially, it was said that domestically it was going to earn over $100 million opening weekend. It was going to be a pretty big film for them. Not the largest, obviously, but definitely not the lowest. But now we are finding out that The Marvels has opened with $47 million domestically, the lowest domestic opening weekend in MCU history, and it's really no surprise to see why. First of all, there was really zero hype surrounding this movie, and I understand, right, the strikes were going on, the actresses could not do any PR for this movie, and that probably did affect the numbers in some way, but also this cast of characters is lame. Nobody wanted Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau together. Nobody asked for this, okay? The plot was just truly terrible. It basically stole the plot of Spaceballs because you have this villain who isn't even really a villain in the movie. They tried to make her into like this neutral figure, right? And she's stealing the atmosphere of a planet in order to give the atmosphere to her planet. She's stealing water from other planets to put on her planet, and she wants to steal the sun to reignite her own sun. It's just a very bad movie overall, and there was a musical number in this. I do not know what they were thinking, but whatever they were thinking didn't end up paying off because $47 million domestically is terrible, okay? Even if the actresses could have done PR for this movie, we know for a fact that Brie Larson would have ruined it. She would have said something controversial, but this movie has been mired in controversy since it was even announced, okay? And not only did it only open to 47 million domestically, but it opened 110.3 million worldwide, which again, lowest in the MCU's history. So this film, congratulations, is breaking records. Not the records they wanted, though. It just was a bad experience all around. And I do think that the internet has kind of come together and agreed with this. Of course, there are still, MCU stans who are defending this movie tooth and nail. And if you like this film, that's great. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it, but I watched it and I absolutely hated it. Okay, I will never watch this again. You could not pay me to watch this again. But then again, I also say that about Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel. These are just not good pieces of content. And as you can see, people in the comment section are roasting them, saying, unfortunate, but I can't be the only one bored of all the superhero movies that all feel the same. They might be decent, but aren't necessarily worth paying to go see in the theaters. I am not surprised. And I do definitely think that superhero fatigue is a thing, but it's bad superhero fatigue. Nobody wants to watch the Miss Marvels and the Captain Marvels and the WandaVisions. We want you to go back to your roots, Marvel. Make the Iron Mans, the Thors, the Captain Americas. Those were the good days, and unfortunately they just have gone so far off the path. I don't even really see a way that they could win all of the fans that they used to have back. I always say this, I know that they're a company and they need to make money, so it's not going to happen, but if they just took a year off and really honed in on what fans wanted, on the best talent that they could get, the best actors, directors, writers, and they really honed in on just a few projects and made them, top tier quality, I think that they could win some people back. But this movie had a $270 million budget, okay, and it's opening with only 110 worldwide. I don't even know if this movie is going to make its budget back, let alone the numbers that they want, because of course companies don't just want what they spent back. They want at least double, at the very least, meaning they need to make a massive amount of money for this movie to even be considered a success, never mind amazing or fantastic. I mean, they need to make over $550 million at least, like the bare minimum. And I don't see that happening by these low numbers, especially with The Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes releasing next week. It's another movie that probably isn't going to make a ton of money, but it is going to take attention off of this. People are saying things like earned more than it deserves. People are going to blame the strike for this, as if these actors going on Jimmy Fallon is going to give the movie another 50 million. No, we don't care for these characters. Then we're called racist and sexist if we don't like it, but plenty of films do just fine with women and black leads. It's when the character's entire being and personality is their gender and race, which is all of these females combined. It's unfortunate, but it is so true. There are also people saying it was one of the movies of all time. I agree, it was definitely a movie, just not the type of movie that they thought that they were creating. And I am in the middle of their target audience for this movie, because not only do they want MCU fans to go and see it, but they also really tried to make this appeal to women. There were a lot of like women-centric jokes, like making fun of Nick Fury because, oh my god, you're creating a toxic, negative environment for us girls. You had, haha, Carol Danvers in Crocs, like she's so relatable in her Old Navy fit. You also have just every character being a female, right? The three leads are female. The villain is a female. You had Valkyrie, who showed up for a couple of minutes, who of course is a female, and she's a very strong female. Like, there's cat jokes and lots of cats in the movie. They've definitely tried with this film and absolutely failed. I will never watch this again. If you haven't seen it, I recommend that you save your money, because this is just not a good experience, and it deserves to bomb, okay? It deserves these low numbers. There's no way that this even comes close to the quality of previous Marvel films that we all knew and that we all absolutely loved, and that were the reasons why the MCU became so popular in the first place. But they really lost their way with this movie. I recommend you save your money, and it deserves these extremely low, historically low franchise numbers. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.